Shallow Grove is going to be running back into the tower, and you really want to dive that, like you're guaranteeing pretty much a 1-for-1 trade. Absolutely, possibly even 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 if you overextend yourself too much. So I do think aggressive tri-lane, looking at Team Empire's lineup, I would say yeah, I think it's a good idea, but when I consider Dazzle, it gives me a little bit of a hedge against that. I'm not entirely confident about going up against
now that I see the Nyx Assassin, this isn't an aggro try.
Yeah.
This is now
Doom carry.
This is Doom carry. It's Nyx Assassin off lane, and it's Visage supporting. They might give Nyx Assassin one friendly helper down there on the bottom lane, so they turn it into a dual lane. But you'd need someone who was like so good in lane control, someone like a Venomancer or something along those lines, if you are even remotely hoping to have a chance in that off lane. The other option is they just leave Nyx as an extra support, and they grab an off laner which is capable of fighting on that bottom lane. But he's going to be able to fight up against a Viper, which will be played. Actually, with Alliance, I'm not quite sure if it's going to be played by Loader, because Admiral Bulldog actually really enjoys playing this this Viper to a point where they sacrifice Loader in his farm on the offlane in order to make Admiral Bulldog completely unstoppable.
Yeah, I think they actually want to go aggressive here. With Alliance, they've got 3 ranged, which is good against melee carries.
They need Mirana.
You want a load of Mirana farming safe lane, Batrider mid?
I want a load of Mirana with Bane and Dazzle on top lane.
Okay, I think they're running a Viper tri-lane. Viper tri-lanes are something that we haven't seen a whole lot in Dota just yet, but thanks to the buff of Viper and allowing you to actually use your orb at level 1, it's actually pretty viable. Viper tri-lanes do a lot of damage. They have a lot of control in lane and do a lot of harassment. So if you know you're going up against a melee carry, they're actually really strong, especially since Doom, no armor there. Always a big problem with Doom. So and you combine the 2 slows of Viper and Dazzle with Poison Touch, Doom's gonna have a very hard time picking up CS, but
the only reason why, by the way, I am so good, saying I picked the last 2 bans, flat down. The only reason why I'm saying it this way is because Alliance like to level up the Viper a lot faster.
I'm sorry, you said the Venomancer ban?
Yeah.
You were calling for a Venomancer. Oh no, we still need a Venomancer support. That's right.
Yeah, I was talking about a Venomancer support, someone that could babysit the Nyx Assassin on the offlane. You need a very strong lane like a Venomancer.
Right.
Yeah, but Alliance like to level up their Viper a lot faster. They don't like to leave him at a low level and sacrifice him that way. So you leave Admiral Bulldog in the bottom lane. He walks in with mech very early on, mech and treads, and then they start fighting. While up on the top lane, they try and make the plays. They try and catch heroes out. You already said they're running a 2 melee lineup, and the Mirana got banned out just because they know that if someone's not there to take that Nightmare off them, the arrow will fly in almost instantly. And it's going to be very easy to not only set up, but stay alive on that top lane. Because you've got Brain Sap, you can't harass the Bane down, because he'll just suck the life straight back out of you. Dazzle will be able to heal or Shallow Grave, and they just needed one more hero up in that top lane that had the follow-up stun. Now, they could still be picking up another hero that has another follow-up stun that could work with them. And then they go massively passive. Oh, wow, that's just douchery. But Lich will be the final one right now. They're going to hold this out, and they go Lycan. Now, if changes up a little bit of how I thought this is going to run, but it's not a follow-up initiation, it's a burst damage lineup. That's what this has turned into now. And it lets them win on the bottom lane. I want to bring up Cloud9 strat. Where they ran a Turtle Envy on the safe lane with the Lycan, and then you ran an aggressive tri-lane. They, of course, did this with like Vengeful Spirit and Luna very early on. So you had a huge amount of damage buff up. Just from like the 20+ damage that Lycan can give you in the first stages, that's enough to take out heroes like a Lich or a Storm Spirit who hasn't got his movement speed yet up, a Doombringer who has 1 armor. Like, it lets you run a more aggressive kind of style. The issue, of course, is still, though, you're not going to find your levels quickly on a Lycan if you're going to run him in an aggro try. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that this time around.
Right, but what they could do is building off of that, they could run an aggressive tri-lane here, but with the Viper and put Lycan safe lane. Now,
yeah, they could do that.
Now that's an option, but I do think you're right when you're talking about Alliance and the way they like to run Viper. If they want to run it a little bit later,
favoritism from the admins.
If they want to be able to run that, that's fine. And plus, it's a Bulldog Viper, so, you know.
Yeah, this...
Sure, we have.
This, at the end of the day, like, you could look and see, like, you could have all these wonderful mechanics guys just sitting back and going, oh, this is the way they should run it, and this, got to go down this way. But Alliance, just like Na'Vi, they're very, very similar. They're an emotional team. They run with what they feel comfortable with. That's it. Like, you don't have to look through the mechanical logic of it all, even though that will be there, but you've got to understand their mindset and the way they look at it. And this is something for Alliance. They know how they want to do this. They want to shut down the Doom at the very, very start. They leave the Batrider to go up against the Storm Spirit, knowing Batrider should at least have some good times with some burst damage and maybe S4 can make some magic happen. And then on the bottom lane, they know Admiral Bulldog will be very, very safe as a Viper. He didn't come down here with a Stout Shield, which I'm actually quite surprised with, but he does have the 2 sets of tangos and the healing salve to deal with this offlane. And it's kind of fair enough. He realizes that with this offlane, he's going to get very little to no farm because Lich is just going to be sacrificing, and sacrificing. And I'm actually really surprised that Empire did this switch up. They're actually moving heroes around, so Mag is in fact going to be up on the top lane. And that puts Silent on the off lane up against the Viper. Now, with a Lich sacrifice, that lane's actually quite strong for Team Empire. But they will never... LOL, Devour Wolf. Shame he can't steal his invisibility and crit and all that kind of jazz. Actually, can he in the later levels?
No.
No. Because I know you can Devour a Hawk. You can Devour a Hawk and you'll steal his invis. Beastmaster Hawk and you steal his invis. Really? Yep. Unless they changed it, unless they took it out.
That had to be a bug. That's definitely...
You could do it in the early days of Dota.
It's definitely a bug.
Yeah, but you could do it.
That's crazy.
You could do it.
It's okay. I get messed up all the time by stuff you can't do in Dota.
Is so totally dead. The trap is about to be sprung. And, well, Loda, he creates a new set of Wolves, and Mag, Nightmare, just to let him set up, and look at him. They group around him with the Wolves as well, so they get the heal. Loda with a quick body block as well. Body blocks him a second time, so he uses a second tango. It's the poison, it's the PMS, which is actually keeping Mag alive for now. Arcane needs to do a little bit more damage from range. The Wolves may as well just dive in for this. Mag, 29, they got him. EGM through the side. There's still a Nightmare, because EGM got solo experience on that Bane too. Nice little loop around. Middle lane, Resolution. Oh, not the courier as well. There's 5 napalm. Whoa, 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 whoa. Free cold.
That was a guaranteed kill there, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a chance that
he would
like Resolution. There was a chance that Resolution could potion up and it would actually take 2 more hits, in which case you're diving into tower and there's a chance that you die before you kill Resolution, but I'm pretty sure that was a guaranteed.
I didn't look at the stick charges either. Like, it might have been potion. There might have been some stick charges up his sleeve, and then it would have been really in, like,
that's
too deep. This bottom lane Admiral Bulldog has already harassed the Lich. Not out of the lane, but really has already done a very good job down here. And with Boots, he can just keep this going. It's his mana pool that's going to really start to suffer shortly. So he's going to start to need to get the Sage's Mask up, build into that Ring of Aquila for himself. He's keeping Silent off the lane because Silent hasn't got a creep here. So they have no aura to help him on this bottom lane. It's just a continuous sacrifice coming out from the Lich. But when these kind of things happen and Silent drops down low, got to be so careful.
Yeah, you're seeing the power of a Viper versus no armor hero like this. Silent.
It's like both of them too. Like Lich has like 1 armor, Doom has 0 armor.
Oh yeah.
Good luck.
Pretty crazy. Once he gets Scorched Earth level 2, it helps out a little bit, but this is still going to be Bulldog. Should be able to pick up a lot of CS in this lane. Their tri-lane will go fine because they're dealing with dual lanes. And that leaves middle, which we already saw. S4 chasing out the Storm Spirit. So they're winning pretty much every single lane now.
They've got to keep that control up though if they want to force us out to a third game. And right now Mag is still trying to come up, but EGM, he's hiding in the tree line. A Nightmare again will help him set up. It's not the burst damage they're really searching for before, as we said, you can use the heal, but there was no level put into Howl. So they don't have the hero bonus damage of 20. That doesn't exist for them right now. And EGM now sees him. Nightmare, there's support coming in from Always Gonna Fly, but they're just trying to keep him away for now. And EGM, all he wants to do is just body block it out. The Wolves are coming in too, and Mag does the best thing he can. He cuts through a very big choke point, and that allows him to three-way stun and drop EGM down very low in life. He has to also pop a salve after that.
That was a very, very smart play. But yeah, you could see the potential of the Wolf and everything. However, if you were able to direct Shadow Wave damage a little bit easier, the problem with Shadow Wave damage is that it's very, very unreliable. You can't really control where those bounces are going, but also the fact that the AoE is very, very small, so you have to actually be right next to the hero in order to actually get that damage. So it's kind of rough relying on that because that's your only source of damage right now.
There's trouble for him on bottom lane. This pack will fleet us, or is he going to crit? No, he doesn't. So Admiral Bulldog may live to fight another day. Goes into the salve. There's another hit, but
needs to deny himself to creeps, I think.
Scorch does more off.
He ran out.
So he can't keep up with him. Admiral Bulldog be able to live. He got lucky there. The random generator isn't going against him tonight. There will be some trouble up on top lane. Nightmare again to set up. The Wolves are coming in. And Nightmare actually stolen by the Visage. So they let him do it. And now they're going to get rid of the nuke. But the good stuff from Mag again.
Always want to fly. That was unnecessary because what I was saying, Shadow Wave being your only damage, because what's the follow-up, right? Physical damage?
Middle lane. Resolution. It's a good thing he has level 6. Able to jump away to safety. Yeah,
anyway, Nyx Assassin is legendary as an offlaner because he has high base armor and good regen. So the auto attacks coming out from Alliance are doing very, very little, especially with the PMS, which we saw at their level 1 attempt. So, but the Visage, on the other hand, Visage, exact opposite. No armor until level 4. So, yeah, kind of silly there, unsleeping the Nyx Assassin. I know you'd like to trade a support, but I'm pretty sure Mag could have lived.
I think I'm with you on that one, especially when you're able to do off that damage. Because you see him, after Mag lit off that 4-man stun, saw the Dazzle having to heal himself up with 2 waves just to get themselves back up and running again. Arcade's now going to TP the bottom lane. They got phase boost over an Admiral Bulldog. So not only does he have the 3 points up in the poison attack, so the move slow of 30%, he's now also moving with plus 50 movement speed when he activates that.
They know, though. They know about the attempted gank from
there's an observer ward there, but wait, Silent's taking a little bit too far now, and Admiral Bulldog, they actually switched from Silent to Vanscore, realizing who they can kill. Wait, Storm Spirit's jumping in through the rear, but Admiral Bulldog is about to get himself a double kill. If he can just reach Silent, he's diving in for it.
Oh, no! Oh, wow. That was
commitment.
That was a gank that Empire knew about. They baited it because they had Storm Spirit coming in from the side. Sure, they cut it really, really close with their bait, but it was still a beautiful bait.
Well, for now, though, Team Empire will get their control because they took out the hero in the bottom lane. So we get our first death on the Viper. He will return towards the bottom lane, and good luck to Always on Fly. He just managed to hit level 4. So there's that armor you were talking about, but with Admiral Bulldog, he's trying to cut up around so he can come in through the high side. Unfortunately for him, Always Wanna Fly moves over through the jungle instead. But they're coming into now mid lane. Resolution, they can't kill him. With the ultimate up, they can't kill him. So unless they're considering towers, because I see Loda rushing up, in fact, has finished the full Vladimir's offering. So with the tier 1 tower down in mid and bottom, they could consider going in for Roshan. I know it's risky considering Lich is approaching level 6 and you have a Storm Spirit that can just jump in. So it could be very, very problematic, but I think that's what's on their minds. You don't buy a Vlad's like this unless either you're looking to do a full-on 5-man kind of push-on style, AFK in jungle, or you want Roshan. They're the only choices right now.
Yeah. Nahaz, I was wondering if you could bring up the win rate of Lycan and what his win rate is on Dire side and Radiant side. Unfortunately, we don't have enough Lycan games to really give us a good pull, but this is leading into what I would say is Lycan is pretty much the hero who benefits most from Dire side advantage.
Real trouble for him. No shallow graves available, so they're pulling him back in. Nightmare will buy him the space, which means now Arcade can follow up with a heal. Storm Spirit jumps in, but it's already too late. Jumps back out again. I'm hearing Elias a little bit further down. That's because Vanskor got grabbed. So it becomes a 1 support for a 1 support.
That's a situation where Shallow Grave would have kept him alive. But
he went 2-0-2.
Yeah, he went for the more offensive build, seeing as they did have an advantage in the tri-lane. Dazzle is your only real burst output. I understand it, but it's still an example of where early Shallow Grave definitely could have kept you alive, and that would have been a 1-for-0 trade rather than a 1-for-1.
Mm-hmm. And Loda just keeps letting off this howl all the time.
Oh yeah, man, you could spam that out. Bottom.
Long jump, gonna go in on Admiral Bulldog. He's only got 1 stick charge, and that won't be enough. But Batrider's coming in, Silent, so low on life now. He's just burning in the middle of all of this. He's got Speed Aura, and that's basically it. So Batrider gets 1 kill, did a lot of extra DPS to Resolution while he's walking around inside the fire. But a 1-for-1 trade, the Doombringer for the Viper, is still even Stevens. I'm not going to say that in the gold, though, because gold advantage is now leading the way for Alliance by about 2.5k, and the experience is about 1k their way as well. So it's not completely even when these trades are happening, but it's still a call for a call.
Yeah. We don't always see this item pickup, but when you do get it, it means you can do Roshan very, very quickly. Medallion is going to be picked up by Lycan.
Already?
Yeah.
If he smokes in there with like 2 of his teammates, there's no Observer Ward for Team Empire.
Mm-hmm.
If they get a clean path and manage to get into Roshan.
Yeah, but look at them. They're checking it. Vanskor just actually dipped in there just to make sure. Even though they have Dire side and they have all these towers up and it's hard to think about Lycan actually sneaking in there, they're still checking.
Batrider might be in trouble. Familiar
Storm.
drop, Storm. That is a long jump by Resolution, but he'll get the kill for this one. But no! Lasu's going to drag it back in range of the tower. Ed's force. 4-1 charges in a moment, but not fast enough. But Resolution used every bit of mana he's got, and he cannot TP out. Loda's just like, give the wolf a bone. Almost got him. Couldn't reach him in time, so the gold is split, and Resolution will consider that a denial. It keeps the money away from the Lycan.
Yeah.
That's the more important thing right there. And now Mag, Sentry Ward spotted him out. Admiral Bulldog knows the next assassin is vendetted up next to that tier 1 tower. But with the storm down, they're feeling confident enough to try and force the tower.
Soon they're going to be taking a lot of towers because we almost have that mech up for Alliance, and the sooner they take these tier 1s, it means less control over Roshan.
Yep. Talking about, man, way to get in. It's still insanely risky. It's still insanely risky to do it. But if you catch them out of position and they're not really aware of it, you can get away with it very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I think they might also wait until S4's finished up his Blink Dagger.
Right.
He's walking around with 1600 gold up in that top lane. Well, there you go. 202 programs. The Radiant side actually has a 103-99 win record.
So he still has a winning record on Radiant side, but what about the Dire side?
That's it. I think that was a...
Oh, it's 103 on the Radiant and 99 on the Dire?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Winning more on the Radiant side.
If I read the stat correctly.
Interesting. I was thinking win losses, but fair enough.
Well, trouble right now for Batrider. Dragging him back and Silent. There's some more help coming in, and that's coming in from the Dazzle. The Poison also went out in Silent, but just movement speed slows down so far. Flame Breakers or something. Storm Spirit's killed off the Lycan in the meantime. Yeah, they got a Vendetta gank at bottom, so they caught out Lycan. They knew he was jungling because they have that ward. So, good setup by Empire. Really downside is they just fed that last familiar just pushed Admiral Bulldog over the edge. So he's now got that mech fully up and running. So if Alliance want to start 5-manning soon, they can do so.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Already seeing Bulldog move forward.
Yeah.
He's really wanting it.
Take middle and try and take both of the tier 1 and tier 2 at bottom, and that's going to give you the most control of Roshan. Those 3 towers are your big key towers for controlling Roshan. That being said, I do have to say that Medallion up on Lycan is not necessarily all about Roshan. It's actually just a strong item in general for Lycan because he depends so heavily on being able to throw down that burst physical damage that if you can put minus armor on a single target like that, the target target your haste moving on, the faster you burst him down, the faster you can go on to the next hero. So it is also just a general good combat item for Lycan, because especially once you have the BKB, you're practically invulnerable at that point. Between the lifesteal, between the magic immunity, nobody's targeting that wolf at that point in time. So Medallion can't harm you negatively most of the time.
Look at Team Empire's movement. The bottom of the map really is priority control for them. But Blink Dagger jump into Silent. They're dragging him back into the poison. 1, 2, napalm stacks, flame break, pushing Vanscore back just a little bit further. With the soul touch and damage, Arcade has to heal himself up, but Loda wants to go in for the glory. Realizing just how deep they're going to have to dive for this one. There is a Fiend's Grip of Fable, and they let it open always on a fly. That big damage from the Wolves as well as Lycan. Al still only level 1, so it's only a bonus 20 damage he got from that, but...
That was still a pickoff, though. Still 1-for-1 trade that does go the way of Empire, because they found Viper, again, in the jungle. I mean, I think when you get ganked twice in your own jungle, that's a sign that, 1, there's a ward there, and 2, you probably shouldn't be farming up that area anymore. Not alone, anyway.
There's going to be another sign shortly, and that's going to be a Nightmare on Silent, and that'll help him set up, and yep, Nightmare. Loda's going to come in. He can create a new set of walls. There's double TPs coming in. Silent. Ooh. Good stomp. Catching 3. Follow up into double stun. And then the Lich Ultimate as well. The Doom's on the Bane. He can't cast anything to help out his teammates. Beautiful control. Dazzle will just shallow grave and TP himself out. That support came quickly, but Silent, what a very good thing he had a War Stomp on him. Any other ability, and that would have been his death. The burst damage from the heal of Dazzle was brilliant.
It's one of those things where if you'd clicked on the hero, maybe you would have reconsidered, or maybe they thought they were actually going to be able to burst down Doom. It was really, really close. The amount of damage coming out from Shadow Wave is just kind of absurd if you're able to get every single hit on one target. Still, though, this is delaying Lycan quite a bit. I'm not really liking this. 15 minutes in, he may still be okay in net worth, but he's not ahead. And that's what I search for a Lycan carry like this, especially if you're dealing with some mobile heroes. The faster you can get up BKB and start controlling this map and taking down towers, the better. Because eventually Storm Spirit is going to get to a point where he dances around you until your ultimate fades, and then he's going to go on you with a Scythe of Ice, with an Orchid, and a whole bunch of damage, and you're really going to be feeling it.
Well, Alliance 5-man movement bottom lane. Tier 1 tower has a name written all over it. While up on top lane, that push isn't coming fast enough from Team Empire, and they can't win a tower trade anyway. The damage output from Alliance when they group up like this is just, it's crazy to fight up against. So they take tier 1, and they will take a tier 2 tower. Before they give me a response, Empire's looking at that tier 1 tower in the mid, but they won't get there in time. They've got to use fortification to defend this.
I really like this stat because I was actually just about to talk about that. Lycan is not a reliable late game carry. He is more of a mid game pushing carry than he is going late, which is makes it really, really important for you to start pushing in before 20 minutes.
They can go high ground right now.
It's doing.
Yeah, they're going to do it before 20 minutes.
Force the fight, absolutely. Or at least force the rotation.
Because look, Silent and Lich are trying to push out this lane. Lich is not a pusher at all. So the rotation's coming, the tier 3 tower's been attacked, and they've got to back up because they're in a pit right now. They've got to get back up onto this high ground. Mag's coming in from the side. Sentry Ward's there. Nice, actually. Weave coming out from Dazzle. They're going to have a lot of armor during this fight. Mag, he didn't realize he's visible. The stun, though, able to hit on both RK as well as EGM. Fiend's Grip is still available, though. But then, when you have Doombringer coming in and the Lich only flying out, they've got to split themselves up here, Alliance. They've already lost the Dazzle, but Admiral Bulldog stands his ground. He keeps fighting. They've brought down the Visage in a return for Storm Spirit. Well over to the side. Chasing EGM off on a tangent. But with Brain Sap, Resolution, Fiend's Grip, he's going to go down right now. You can't 1v1 him. I don't think he thought the Bane Fiend's Grip was still available anymore. Lycan still taking through. Admiral Bulldog with a double kill. There's 5 napalm stacks. Wolves on his tail, nibbling at his ankles. And Silent will go down the bottom lane, giving Arashi a triple kill to Admiral Bulldog. And Vanscore, the only one to survive. You wanted an opening to push up towards the high ground. This is basically it, Cap.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, I'm not going to say the game is over, but that was a huge swing in momentum. Alliance, yeah, they were taking a lot of towers, and that's a lot of gold going their way, but Empire were still in control of the game. I felt they were far enough ahead that they should have been able to contest at their base. However, we now have a big upswing that is going to go the Alliance's way. It means they have a lot more control.
Right now on Vivake around the pit, and Resolution gets a snipe out.
You had your warning.
Even go for a second one. EGM steals the haste room from him, but there's a nightmare. They'll have to go into a Lasso straight away. There's more support coming. There's your Lasso. He tried to holding himself away to safety, and with a flame break, they have the nuke to get him down. This opens up Roshan. There's no Storm to jump in. Is there a buyback available for him? No, there is not. Dazzle is the only one with a buyback. So they're trying to Roshan really quickly.
The blink, though. They can't stay too grouped up. They can easily take Roshan as long as they don't stay grouped up in the Roshan.
They're going to get rid of that familiar too the second and it pops up. Even over killing off Roshan. And what, 1, 2, oh, he's on 54 life points. He can still come back in again. Do some damage, and there's a jump in. There's a double stun right now on both Loader as well as EGM. Roshan, 300, 200. Radiant kills it. Leica picks it up. And Mag is caught inside the pit. They know he's in there and he burns inside the Firefly. They basically draw the line of death.
It was actually a beautiful play by S4. That wasn't Mag jumping in with his Blink Dagger. He got flame braked into the pit. He got pushed in. Yep. S4. Brilliant play. And all of a sudden, Mag is inside the pit and panicking because he didn't know. He's like, what do I do? I never wanted to be here.
Quick stun something. Maybe I can get lasted on Roshan. Spike Carapace. Wait, no, it's taking too long.
And the hilarious fact that him being trapped inside the pit with a Sentry Ward on the outside, like he couldn't actually go anywhere with his Vendetta.
Oh, jump in. They got Resolution. Blink in, pull him back out again, and the Weaver started up again too. So the armor increase is really starting to rise, and Loader can just stand on the front lines there. The Finger's Grip is keeping the Lich out of play, so there is no Lich ulti yet. Now you'll throw it up, but there's still a decent creep wave here. So Loader comes back down to get the kill off Fanscore. Medallion, Brain Sap helps to get the kill. They'll lose Admiral Bulldogs. They lose a big streak from him. The Doombringer has to go back to base to lick his wounds, but the Necro unit's being resummoned. They really want to bring down this tower. Another jump in from the Bat Rider, keeping that Napalm stack over on top of Mag. 5 stacks up on him. The tower is still not dead yet, but they pop off the Howl, the bonus damage rises, they avoid the familiar stun down too, take the tower, and then back up. They're going to realize Doom is alive again. And these little mini Necro units will run themselves away too. It's like Alliance's shorties coming out to try and fight for the cause. And Mag, Vendetta, is a very good thing that Alliance doesn't have a gem right now. But then again, Mag wouldn't be doing, oh, Invis Rune. On top, he's going to rotate over, takes the Invis Rune too. I don't know if Arca got to see that or not, but he starts off with a stun. Shouldn't really be able to get the kill here unless Doom actually, he doesn't have an ultimate available, so just body blocking to start with. And then pops off the one charges. There's still a tier 1 tower here to help out too, so Shallow Grave, I couldn't get it off in time. You could see those staff just go down to push the grave up.
Yeah.
But it wasn't there in time.
Yeah, Empire do the smart thing, which they lost to tier 3. They have to push out. They have to try and get pickoffs off of Alliance's retreat. Unfortunately, they got pretty much the minimal one.
Storm jumping in right now on EGM. Keeping him low, but Bat Rider says, well, all right, you do a jump, we'll try a jump. And who's got the most amount of damage? I think the answer is Alliance. Propaganda.
Yeah, that Medallion with 4 different heroes hitting on you, minus armor, plus just a ton of physical damage. Storm Spirit just kind of falls apart. And Empire, I mean, it was just that one team fight, right? The one team fight where Empire tried to push out and actually take it to Alliance instead of just backing up and protecting their base. They got that one bad team fight, and all of a sudden Alliance are just controlling the game easily. Yeah. The only reason they killed Viper, the only hero that they killed in the last team fight, the only reason he died was because 4 out of the 10 bounces were on Admiral Bulldog. Like, he was very, very unlucky in that regard. Every other bounce was on him.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This army right now is crazy to see how much damage it deals at. That Howl's also giving all of these Necro units plus 10 damage as well, and including the Wolves. It's all about the minions. They get the extra damage, and there's basically 3 sets of Necro units now over on Alliance too. They back up, they took one of the Raxes. Mag jumps out here. He's trying to bait them to fight. He's keeping their attention away from the top lane where Doombringer was able to bring down the tier 1 tower. It's like Alliance here, they're not done yet. Mech is still up. I think they can still force a fight here. Over towards the side, in fact, Batrider, he's dragged Resolution out. They've got to keep that control here, but Resolution back up towards high ground. Meg still available for Admiral Bulldog. Now you're triggered off. Lich Ulti's going to come in, bounces down. This time will be defused at the second bounce, and the Fiend's Grip controlling up Mag. Loda might be getting pulled back in again, but he's still got the Aegis to the Immortal. And always on a fly where we got a buyback from the next assassin. TP towards the front lines. Loda doomed up. No ulti as well. So Loda should die right now. And in fact, the rest of Alliance will just accept the fact that he will die, and they back up. They still took a melee Rax as well as a range Rax on the a full Rax in the mid and a range Rax on the bottom.
Yeah. And they smoke up on their retreat. They know that's the only way they lose this game is if they get caught. If they overextend themselves after taking such a big Rax advantage and somehow Empire completely wipe them and gain a bunch of map control and a bunch of farm, like that's the only comeback that Empire could possibly see. Now it's just going to be a slow, steady siege if they want. At top, allowing middle to push in, allowing bottom to push in, and eventually Empire will crumble.
Empire, they're going to stand their ground for now. These guys don't crumble easy. When you got Resolution's initiation now with an Orchid, maybe you can finally get that pop-off. But when Lycan also buys BTs, welcome to Alliance split push. When you know the lanes will just push themselves in, you leave the Wolves with it. Alliance, I think Empire have only one choice. Once they saw those BTs, they've only got one choice. That's to 5-man mid and see if they can take a fight. Actually, no, they can't even do that. No, they've got to look for pickoffs. They can't force a 5-man fight. They can't force Alliance to do anything. They've got to get pickoffs. They've got to find vision. All 5-man Dota solves all problems. Doesn't work in this scenario. In fact, it's probably the worst thing they could do. But while they're tossing that question up, we'll toss this one up. So what heroes have the highest, 7.9, and lowest 4.8 total stat gain? Strength, intelligence, funny one to actually muck it up on, and agility.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm not even having a gander. That's a mechanics question.
Enchantress.
Dire's top tower
Jada, because your strength gain is so low, and I don't think your agility is great.
I know Jakiro has the highest strength gain for a support here.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're coming in. Blink, BKB. Mags by Carapace now does absolutely nothing against S4. Shiva's Guard will also trigger off, and the Meg charge off from Admiral Bulldog. So they've already got their bonus armor from Weave as well as Meg now, and they're going in deeper. That slow Fiend's Grip, nicely done by Lich, instantly cancels off the Fiend's Grip of EGM. The Storm is burning off every bit of mana he's got to fight this, and with a big army here, most of the Lich ulti is diffused. While the Necro units as well as the dogs were attacking over on the range racks, they called GG. Game is over. Game was good. And game is going to a third.
I think Slark might be in the list too. Slark doesn't have amazing stat gain.
Oh, there's your answer.
Alchemist.
Alchemist is the lowest stat gain currently in Dota 2. Phantom Lancer has 7.9.
Oh yeah, that's right. Slark, Alchemist. That was the other heroes. Heroes that have ultimates or some sort of ability that changes their stats. So any of those. Alchemist is a big example.
Morphling has the highest strength gain.
Slark, because you steal stats, has a pretty low stat gain, I think. So.
Well, fun trivia question.